We had an incredible snowstorm where I'm at right now, and they're plowing like crazy. It's very noisy. I usually do videos at a certain time, but I did not want to wait on this one, so apologize in advance. Let's go. As you can see above me, James O'Keefe has made a huge announcement. I was doing cardio, I was sweating, I still got my towel on, I haven't showered, but I had to bring you this. It's huge.
I wrote a speech, but I'm not going to read from a piece of paper. I'm just going to speak from the heart. How does that sound? What I'm going to do here in the next 10 minutes is I'm going to tell you a little story about Pfizer. And then I'm going to make a major announcement. So, our mission continues on. I'm not done.
I am not done. The famous words as James O'Keefe gives his farewell speech at the office of Project Veritas after being ousted as the CEO for reasons that I think we all can, after what's happened, I think we all understand why. The board seems like it was infiltrated by a certain company just days after he exposed said certain company.
This is one of the most riveting and bizarre things you'll ever see in your life. Many of you have seen it, but I'll just play a few more clips.
Bro, first of all, I'm literally a liar.
So his response is, I'm literally a liar. But I expect you to believe what I'm saying right now. It goes on, it gets weirder.
I'm not even a scientist by background. You know that I came from a consulting firm that does business. This is absurd.
Please don't touch me.
This is absurd.
This is absurd. We're trying to unlock the door. Unlock the door.
But like James said in that speech, and like he's been hinting at on social media, he's not done. He's going to keep going. He's staying active. And this talk on CPAC, not even a talk, it was a speech. And it was a very inspiring speech, to say the least. James went over things like what happened with his last days at Project Veritas. He went over why he does what he does. He said a lot of really amazing things.
I've never taken advertising dollars. No one's ever told me what to do. No one's ever told me what not to do. So it's really been kind of a journey to expose anybody who needs to be exposed, because that's what journalism is supposed to do, show you the facts, without fear or favor. So about a month ago, I did a story, guy at Pfizer. Now, there are some brave people that have exposed this. A couple people in particular who have been nameless and faceless, but incredibly brave people I've had the pleasure to work with. And I am so grateful for those people. Courage, was it Chesterton who wrote, courage is the virtue that sustains all others. The individual who helped identify this man, who helped bring this to light, the person who worked with Pfizer, who was targeted, who was brought into a room, interrogated, who had a red van go to her home, harass her and her loved ones, who was scared for her life, rightfully so, scared for her life, was so inspired by the series of events that have occurred over the last 3 weeks that she's decided to go public with me on this stage right now. And her name is Debbie. Debbie from Pfizer, would you please come out here?
Now, just real quick, because nobody's talking about who this woman is, because there's very little known about her, because this story only broke about 4 hours ago, maybe 3 hours ago. Her name is Debbie Bernal. She works at Pfizer. More than likely, we should be saying she worked at Pfizer. And right now, already, when you search her name, there's pictures of her with guns. It's almost like they're trying to make her seem like this far-right extremist it's already in play. So I just want to say, before I let this speech run, because I'm going to let it run, the things that you're going to hear about her in the future, you have to understand that you're hearing about these things. They're being put in front of you because of what she's about to say.
Thank you. I love you guys too. Well, like James said, I was a little reluctant to come at first. I was scared for my life. I was worried that I would end up in a body bag or in a car accident. But I realized that the spirit of fear is not from the Lord. And as a believer, I knew that I couldn't just sit there. I couldn't just sit there and watch. People get lied to. People get gaslit. It made me angry. And I talked to James, and he, gave me the courage to come up here, and I'm so thankful to have people here who are willing to listen and who are willing to stand up. And I think we all need to learn to not be fearful. Fear is how the enemy controls us. The reason why our country is going the way it's going is because of fear. People are willing to give up their freedom and their liberty to feel safe. We can't do that. Freedom is not free. Freedom comes with the price. And sometimes people, like me, have to make a sacrifice. I just want to tell all the people here in this room who are employed, if you guys work for big tech, media, a government agency, it's your responsibility to stand up. Do not let these people keep getting away with this. If you don't say something, they're going to keep doing it. That's why we're where we are today. That's why they keep doing it. That's why they keep lying to you. That's why they keep gaslighting you. Stand up. Be brave. Do something for this country, or else we're all doomed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely incredible speech. And I have to say, so few people decide to do what she did. You have to understand that when she talks about making a sacrifice, and she's made that sacrifice, she could have just stayed at her job. She had a good job. Like, working for a company like that, that's security. She had security. She had steady money. She had financial freedom, probably to an extent. And she gave all of that up because now anything in that industry, she's not going to be able to get a job in that industry anymore. So now she doesn't know what she's going to do. I'm hoping she does something with James, but it's just like she casted it all aside for you. She casted it all aside for us. And when there's people like that in the world, you have to stand beside them. You have to stand behind them. You have to get around them. You have to figure out what it is that they need as soon as possible. If she has socials, you got to follow her. If she ends up making a YouTube channel, you got to subscribe. If she ends up, doing more talks, you got to listen. If she brings up more information, you got to take it in. Because she did something, like, if she has kids, You know, let's say she has 3 kids. She did it for those 3 kids as well. But there's so many more of us than she has family. She really did it for us. And it's just, there's so few people that can do that. I don't know if I could do that in that position. You don't know if you could do that in that position. For all you know, she's making $250,000 a year and she walked away from it. For all you know, now her family's going to be in dire straits and they might end up like, you know, living on the lower end of, you know, close to poverty. You have no idea. We have no idea. And she hasn't asked anybody to take that into account. So few people in the world that are willing to do that. So a lot of people probably are going to watch this and it's just like another video. It's not. What she decided to do today on March 4th is absolutely incredible. With all the things we have going on in the world, with all the heat that people take, with all the cancellations, with all the things that they do to people within the media when they do things like this, she still did it. Still did it. And a big thank you to her. If she ever sees this, thank you so much, Debbie. If James ever sees this, thank you so much, James. And to all of you, thank you so much for watching. I will leave you with some words from Mr. James O'Keefe himself. A much happier version than what we saw of him just a month ago. And I think, and I know, he deserves it. I'm out.
I will tell you all that I'm not stopping. We're not giving up. O'Keefe tips at protonmail.com. And stay tuned.